Hello Bookworms, it's Jessica with what I have read in November. I had a good reading month, but there's only 2 books that I was very disappointed in. Plus I added a 6th book because when I was vacationing in New Orleans, Louisiana, I had a lot of reading time on my hands. I have uploaded some videos from there for you all to go check out here on this channel. Speaking of which, the first 3 books are about NOLA, and they're all history books. Now, I'm not a history buff, but I really enjoyed these books. A History, Women and New Orleans by Mary Gehman and Nancy Rues. Now, I give this 4 stars, and I learned something very interesting. Besides the voodoo queen Marie Laveau, there was another one who I never heard about. Delphine McCarthy McLaury, who tortured people and was rumored to be a witch. My personal favorite is Where Writers Wrote in New Orleans, Louisiana by Andrew Carll, and I give this 5 stars. And I recommend it for anyone that loves reading and writing. Tennessee Williams lived in a townhouse on Royal Street. He was inspired to write his play, A Streetcar Named Desire, because each time a streetcar, Desire, rode up and down his street. Now, that to me is really interesting. And another sad book, but I also really enjoy this, and I give this 4 stars, is One Dead and Attic by Chris Rose, which is about Hurricane Katrina. Now, Chris Rose and his family live in New Orleans, Louisiana, but during Hurricane Katrina, he had to go back to his home state of Maryland and stay with relatives because they were flooded out. It made me sad because a lot of people lost their lives, their pets, their homes, and businesses. But I was also glad that New Orleans was resilient and rebuilt. And it's a beautiful city. And I'm glad that they did that. Also, I did not enjoy Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, the classic, which is about firefighter Guy Montage who puts out fires, but instead he sets them. And the thing that really turned me off about this book was that he was burning books and ripping pages out of them. Now that to me really makes me think that somebody like that is a little loony in the head. And after reading that, my brain just like shut off from this book. As you all know by now, I have a Discord server, JessBookgirlTV, because on there is my book club, Just Book Girls Book Club, where for the month of November we read Nelson DeMille's Nightfall, about a married couple but not to each other who make love on a West Hampton beach, and they film themselves when the TWA crash happened. Now 5 years later, ex-NYPD detective John Corey and his wife Kate Mayfield, who now work for an anti-terrorist task force, investigate the case because they want to find a couple and the videotape. The videotape might have a crime scene on there. Now, I didn't know if I was going to like this book, but it ended up being very intense and I kept wanting more. So I give it 5 stars. And the last book, which is the add-on, The Untouchables, is by Lisa Barr, which is the story about Sophie Bloom, who on her 42nd birthday finds out that her husband Gabe has been cheating on her with 43 women. Sophie is very upset and leaves Gabe. But also, on the same night as her birthday, Sophie gets a call from her daughter Ava, who's studying abroad in France, because Ava is having issues of her own, and Ava wants Sophie to come to France to be with her. So Sophie takes a plane ride to France, and also she rediscovers her love of sculpting which she had to give up when she's in her 20s because of carpal tunnel syndrome. Now, the reason why I don't like this story is because it's typical, because Sophie is starting a new life for herself, but I make you a bet that at the end she's going to end up going back to Gabe. So I give it 1 star. So thank you all for watching, and if you are in the United States, I want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Bye, Bookworms!